just go ahead.
Here we go. See, the problem is now I have it all set up for Nyokin though. So you're like Nyokin for the rest of the cast, because I'm not messing with
basically not.
I'm not messing with the pictures anymore.
I'm basically.
Pretty
Naokin.
much. Pretty much, right?
I'm a little bit shorter. How tall is he?
He's pretty tall. Nyokin, how tall are you?
I think he's like 6'4", I want to say. That's what I heard.
You were like,
on
what,
the
like
internet.
5'7" or 5'8", if I remember correctly?
I'm 5'11".
You're 5'11"?
Yeah.
Jesus.
Jesus.
Alrighty. Well, let's go ahead and get on into it. In the top center, spawning as the Red Terran, we have DST Napoleon.
Oh yeah, Terran on Aztec. And then bottom right is the teal Protoss. We have Cash Baal.
I've seen this clan tag
Yeah.
around before. Is this an older clan, Nina?
I believe, which one?
Ash?
Ash?
Yeah.
I believe it's a newer one. 'Cause I think I've seen DST in the past, but I'm not sure if I've just started seeing Ash recently. Napoleon, of course, is going with the forward supply depot. Probably because he doesn't want to have the Marines at the bottom of the ramp. You can wall off the bottom of the ramp and have the Marines behind it, but then they'll be shooting uphill. What is Ash doing? I think he's going to go 12 next.
Oh, man. And the Econo cheese. I
Yeah.
only do 12 next when I play against Future, because he never stops it, and it just feels so good. You get so much money starting out so quickly with that incredibly fast Nexus first build.
Well, it's hard to stop, actually. If, I don't know exactly what people do about it now, but what they would do is just like take an SCV train, build a bunker and a vulture, have the Marines go up to it, and then just knock it down with the Marines in the bunker. Because going too fast is actually too late to stop 12 next, surprisingly enough. If you do it correctly, that is. And, Napoleon did a gas scout, so he scouted after he got his gas. So he's just now going to see the Nexus going up. If he had scouted a little bit sooner, maybe he could have gone command center first, because he does have the buildings at his natural. I agree.
Alrighty. Well, so what is your response here if you're Napoleon then? What do you think is going to be the best plan of action from going forward to kind of recoup this not quite economic, I guess you can say economic disadvantage?
Oh, I would say drops, but that would just be my opinion. I don't see the position that he's in right now. I think the best thing to do would be probably to expand towards the Protoss, but then you have like free recalls on your bases. It's kind of weird.
It just seems worrisome because he went for the factory, so he's not going to have a CC for a little while still. I mean, it's just starting now, and that puts him pretty far behind. You know, like, he can't really do anything either with the technology that he has, because the Protoss is going to be able to crank out goons fast enough to be able to stop any kind of pressure that Napoleon is able to put on. So it is kind of problematic.
Yeah, right now, the decisions that he's going to be making very soon are going to influence how the game's going to go, but right now, there's nothing he can immediately do to punish it. I guess, I think he's going to try to bust the Nexus. Okay, so what he's doing here, he's getting his Vulture first, and he's getting mines, so yeah, I think that's what he's going to do. He's going to try to bust it with SCVs.
Huh.
So
Interesting.
here we go. Let's get some SCVs. Get that train going.
Alrighty, well, Baal doing a good job microing back here, not taking too much damage on his first Dragoon. And splitting up now, I mean, not so bad so far. But where is the SCV pool, Nina?
I don't know what he's doing. He's putting mines down at his own front.
Yeah, this is kind of interesting. I mean, he saw his opponent open up with a 12 Nexus, but he's posturing very defensively still.
Yeah, normally when you do the vulture thing, you don't get the command center first. But I thought, okay, he's going vulture first. He might be going for it. Then again, he might be going for, like, I don't know, something with... I mean, he's getting the vulture speed, so he might be trying to harass...
Ooh, a nice first mine hit hits the two fresh Dragoons here, and wow! Immediately, Baal's army just disappears.
Noise.
And there's only 2 Dragoons back here, and so these could definitely deal a decent amount of damage here. Vultures with mines, kind of annoying to deal with just a small number of Dragoons, because you need to pick off all of the mines before you can get over to the Vultures. Ah, another good hit on these Dragoons, man.
Yeah, very nice. Picks off a few probes, too. And actually, one of the things I will say is, if you're behind, one of the probably the best way to get back into a game is to do some good harass. Of course, harassing is a little bit risky, but if it pays off, then, of course, then you can find yourself in the lead again.
Yeah, a lot of times it'll be better to take that gamble to maybe put yourself more on an even footing or get yourself ahead in the game as opposed to just trying to grind it out from behind.
Yeah, I would say if you know how to harass correctly, you have some good timings for it, then definitely go for it. But as for grinding it out from behind, you can do that. What?
Sorry, I giggled. I'm like a 12-year-old boy. Okay, leave me alone. I never progressed past that stage.
I suddenly realized what I said. Grinding from behind.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, our Terran player here though looks to be going for a dropship here. So this could be a really great way for him to get a bunch of damage done here. I mean, with all of the units positioned here at the front of the base, getting some vultures into that main mineral line might be kind of nice.
Can you see what's in the dropship? I can.
I don't think there's anything in it yet.
Oh, is it empty? Alright, that's fine.
I would have liked to see those vultures not be given away for free, and then instead of just load
I was
up.
gonna pick up the vultures.
Yeah, I think that was a weird pathing issue. I don't know. Where is this? What is going on with this dropship? There's nothing in here. It's just like heading down here to the third base doing nothing.
Yeah, I would like if there was units in there, because the units are usually good to have.
Units are usually good to have. You heard it here, folks.
The empty dropships tend to not be as effective as the ones with units in them.
Yeah, not quite the same amount of damage that you generally see.
But I will say this. All joking aside, if you send a dropship that's empty to your opponent's base, and they think there's units in it, they'll probably still pull all their workers anyway. And so you can fake them out and do some. You can get them to, stop mining from a base for a little bit.
Something I like to do is to send like a bunch of overlords once I've shown that I already have drop, and send like 5 or 6 overlords to a base with nothing in them, and then hit the furthest base from that base with my actual units once the units have been pulled to try to go ahead and defend that base, the other base. It's a lot of fun. Usually triggers my opponents pretty hard.
Yeah, I don't know about that. That's kind of like one of those things where I heard you and Nyokin talking earlier about something similar to that, where you you do it like a fake Hydra bust, but they don't build cannons. And so your fake Hydra bust is ineffective because they just don't react. But, yeah, it's kind of like that. So, Napoleon's gonna push here. He's also got a dropship full. I think that, pushing here might not be the best option, but because the Protoss has the option of flank and also has shuttles.
Yeah, I mean, this is a pretty strong area to kind of deny, just because it's difficult to get down that ramp. But yeah, if your Protoss opponent just wraps around here from the third base, it can be very difficult for you to be able to hold on to that, especially when you don't quite have an overwhelming number of units right now. We're only at 88 supply right now.
Yeah, Ash is starting to, I don't know.
Oh man, we're bleeding Dragoons here right now, though. This is something you really can't afford. That's 3 Dragoons absolutely for free. Here comes a 4th now, almost. But I did hear a shuttle getting loaded up. So we're going to have Zealot bombs on these tanks. And there really aren't that many units here. Once you get Zealots on top of tanks, they start shooting each other, and that does a ton of damage.
Well, here we go. Here we go.
Here we go! Alright, Zealots already on top of the tanks. Drawing...
Pretty good Zealot bomb there.
Yeah, very nicely done. 3 of the 6 tanks go down almost instantly. And this is a ton of Dragoons. They should be able to clean this up pretty much no problem. Oh, even having another Zealot to be able to drop on the last tank.
The bunker was a nice touch. I think Baal, now that he's broken the push, should just back off.
Oh yeah, I mean that's really great. When you reset a Terran tank count, it's a pretty big deal here. But 2 Vultures getting in the main base here, unfortunately not taking quite an advantage.
You should go get the probes.
Yeah, looks like instead Napoleon deciding to work on getting his 3rd base down and transferring units and working on macro and things like that. But this is a lot of probes. This could be like the whole main mineral line right now going down. But instead, just poking away at a gateway, and then the rally comes out here and blows them all up.
Oh my gosh. I mean, did you see how many grenades those things shot?
Yeah, it was ridiculous. They got all the shields off of a gateway. Look at this gateway. It even took some HP damage.
My god. That could have been so many probes. I think that would have actually really helped even the game out. You can see that the populations are pretty close to even right now. And that has a lot to do with Baal not quite knowing where to put extra gateways. He's kind of like, my base is running out of room. Where do they go?
Yeah, I mean, he has a pretty hilarious SimCity going on here. I feel like there isn't going to be...
I noticed Mr. Llama had that problem as well in the 3rd game on Circuit Breaker.
Yeah.
Where, good catch by Napoleon.
Oh yeah, this is really nice. The mine here really helping that though.
Yeah.
Man, I mean, Napoleon is staying hot on the heels of Baal's supply count here, and that's really not something that you want as a Protoss player. You really do need to be quite ahead of your Terran opponent because your units aren't quite as supply efficient when it comes to efficiency in battle here. And so this is going to really go ahead and favor Napoleon, especially now that they're on even basis here with Baal now taking the low ground 3rd or 4th base over here. I mean, I'm a little worried because once this supply count gets high enough, Napoleon's just going to push, and Baal's going to be in kind of a rough position.
Yeah, probably another deciding pair of factors would be one, Baal has been on top of his upgrades, so he has both armories upgrading, and he's going to have his spellcaster, which is going to be Science Vessel, and whereas Baal has not... Okay, he does have a Citadel of a Dune, but he does not have... Oh, there it is. I was like, where's his Arbiter Tribunal? So it's like, it's so late in the game, and there's no Arbiter yet.
This is kind of funny, though. I mean, I don't know. Napoleon's only gonna be on 1-1, and he's only halfway there. So I mean, we're way past that 13-minute 2-1 timing attack that Nyokin was talking about a bit earlier here. So I mean, you are an upgrade ahead as the Protoss player right now, and I think he's probably gonna keep up with that. But yeah, I don't know. Just the supply difference is not that big, and especially not just getting on a base ahead now is kind of scary for me.
Ooh, we got a comsat station. Or not a comsat station, a covert. Oh,
I was like, what?
good. We got a comsat station.
What is so exciting about that? Oh, that's so
Ooh,
funny.
Supply depots.
Ooh, man, the supply depot coming up. This is such a strategic option here right now. This is like some of the secretest Ghostu tech ever.
It's a pretty bold strategy, Cotton.
Being able to make units, good strategy. Oh man, these units on move command, a couple are donated for free here.
Yeah.
But there's a nice minefield set up here.
So when doing a push like that,
Oh,
when doing
man.
a push through a map like Aztec that has a pretty wide open middle, I mean there are those little like temple artifacts coming up out of the ground, but you usually want to kind of hug the wall, kind of go around the edge of the map so the Protoss can't like surround you or nothing.
Yeah,
So-
I mean, but this push is really not getting all that much done so far. We do have, well, I was going to say units coming from the other side, though, are starting to do a lot of work. That was a pretty huge concave. And, oh,
Yeah.
man. Tank count getting obliterated now.
So, like I was saying at the beginning of the game, I think he should have. I think the best option, not that there are a lot of great options in this matchup, but on this map, but I think the best option would have been to push towards the 3 o'clock position. And then take the 3 o'clock as his 4th base. Because now that his push is broke, well, he's taking it now, but there's no way he can secure it. And now the Protoss is going to have arbiters.
Yeah, this is when Protoss does start to get pretty scary here.
Yeah, it took him a while to get the arbiters out, but yeah, I would agree. Once they have arbiters, there's so many different angles that you have to think about as Terran that you have to defend.
I think-
It's almost not even right.
Unethical, would you say?
It's unethical.
Protoss is the unethical race. You heard it here first. Although I'm sure people have been saying it for years. This is actually kind of hilarious, though, that you made the comment about he doesn't really know where to put his gateways. So he's literally got like a just little cluster of macro gateways like sitting out front of his natural expansion, just kind of sitting there in between the natural and the third. Oh man.
It's fine. I mean, if you don't know, it's better to be like, well, I guess we'll just put them here.
Then to
instead
not
of
have them. Yeah.
Well, I don't know where to put them, so I'm just not going to put them anywhere. And
Well-
you can kind of see why this works out. Why I would say expand towards 3 o'clock, because if they attack into this position, there's this bridge here that sort of funnels everything into a very compact place where a lot of tank fire can hit it.
Alrighty, and now we have tanks poking away at this 4th base here. That's definitely not ideal, especially considering that Baal's main and natural are pretty much mined out here. Baal now trying to take a base here at the left side, but I don't know. I mean, I think we saw it with a couple of mines here.
Napoleon's also doing the same thing. He's taking a base at, I would say, the 11 o'clock?
Yeah, about 11.
Maybe 10:30? Yeah, 10:30-ish, 10:35. Smartly, Napoleon's going to send a couple tanks to deny that 9 o'clock position.
Teddy Bear Toss making a really good point though. Something that Baal hasn't been doing is using zealots enough, I guess. Zealots just so important to be able to, stop your dragoons from just immediately evaporating. They do such a good job at tanking for your dragoons while the dragoons sitting back and take care of the tanks and things like that with their range damage. I mean, he's had some really great zealot bombs in the beginning of the game here, but
Oh, I don't think this is gonna work.
oh no, this is pretty bad. We're gonna have Arbiter being lost to turrets here. The main army got exploded.
I think Napoleon is gonna just take this game.
Yeah, this is pretty scary.
I think he turned it around. At first, I was like, Napoleon. I don't think Napoleon's gonna win because if you get 2 big pushes broken and you don't secure your bases, and then Protoss Arbiters, it's like you're kind of like gonna be playing from behind for the whole game. But Napoleon's pulling it back, so I feel good about this.
Yeah, that's pretty great. The base that was gonna go down on the left-hand side of the map got taken care of here. 11 o'clock base, now about to finish up. Or I think it's actually finished up here. And the world's most cost-effective turret got like 2 or 3 Arbiter kills by itself.
Did it? I didn't see how many Arbiters it killed.
Yeah, it killed like 2 or 3. Just like this turret was just like going ham on these Arbiters.
What a boss.
Yeah, but this is kind of ridiculous. Baal now just rallying units down this ramp, throwing them away a couple at a time here into just gigantic tank line with mine support and turrets going down. This is really not the way that you're going to be able to get yourself back into this game here.
Alright, Napoleon is now out of minerals at his main, his natural, and his third base. So, the main way that Baal could get back in this is, well, no, he'd have to break this whole push.
Yeah, he's super contained. Yeah, I mean,
yeah, he can't really do much unless he stops this push from killing his 4th base.
the stasises this game have not been super stellar. This was a pretty decent one, getting 4 tanks. But even still, there's so many tanks all over this map. Like, these Dragoons are going to have to get so far up on these tanks to be able to get any damage done here. And the stasis tanks even acting kind of as like a physical barrier.
Yeah, that was almost like a panic engagement. But where normally if you want to engage, you kind of know when you want to. In that case, you're just kind of like, oh, I just have to throw units in front of this area or else I'm gonna lose this base. And sometimes what ends up happening is you lose all the units and then you end up losing the base anyway. But there weren't a lot of good options for him there. So, unfortunately, I think this base is gonna fall.
Yeah.
For sure.
I feel like this is pretty much going to be the end here. This has got to be the last engagement. This is like the whole army left, and there's a gigantic Terran army outside of his base. If this doesn't clear it up, then there's going to be no coming back.
Might kill the tanks in the front of it, but tanks in the back are going to be up. Oh no, there's still 1 tank left.
Oh, wow.
And he hasn't... Oh, GG and a smiley face.
I like that. That's the CPL, man. Good fraternal
That's
feeling to the whole thing.
That's really good.
Yeah, I honestly I love the GM players. Like, I know I personally like to talk a lot of shit and get in my opponent's head or whatever, but I think that it's really important to have the friendly competition here at the CPL. I think it's a great way to get people engaged, and honestly, if you're out there being a good sport, it's gonna be better for your mentality as well.
Yeah, I used to get really upset when I lost games, and so my last CPL match, hold on a second.
Alright, Nina, I'm gonna replace Nyokin's picture with a diagram of how Ultralists get hit by tank fire. And that's gonna be your name here.
Okie dokie. So yeah, in my last CPL match, I think you casted it.
Yeah.
Where there's like a 45-minute game or something. And I said, GG, well played, because he played well. And I was like, that feels good. That feels a lot better than typing something mean at the end of the game.
Like you always do to me when we play BGH and then you don't win. Oh man.
When I'm doing BGH, I'm not actually mad though.
I know. But imagine how good it would feel to spread love and venereal disease. I would say it probably feels pretty good.
Venereal disease actually is not good. It's a little bit overrated.
Okay. You'd say maybe bad? Don't do that? Don't spread that?
I would say don't.
Okay. Well, good to know. Thanks, NinaZerg, for the heads up there. I appreciate that. What? Someone took my game name? Some dirty CPLer took the CPL game name while I'm casting? Are you kidding me? I gotta figure out who's hosting this. Hold on.
I think it's Han.
Hold on. I'm gonna join. Let's see if I can join it. Dang it. I don't have the password. I tried. Oh well.
I think it's Han.
I was gonna hop in there and talk crap on stream so everyone could watch. Alrighty. Well, I got game up. Game number 2 of the series.
Ross said the sickest game on Polaris Rhapsody. That was a strange game. Yeah. Just, icky. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Alright, which map is this?
Alright, this is gonna be the infamously cheesy, completely non-standard, rarest map pick ever. We have Fighting Spirit.
Okay. This is probably one of those new ones by Freakling.
Yeah. Freakling, an incredible map designer, by the way.
Yeah, he's not just a good map designer, he's also very knowledgeable about like the little details.
Oh yeah, when he breaks down maps, we're into their pathing, like the little pathing segments and everything like that. All those like tiny little things, super smart. But let's go ahead and get on into this game. In the top right-hand corner, spawning as the blue Protoss, we have Baal.
Alright, I guess I'll introduce DS2 Napoleon. He's yellow, he's Terran, and he's in the bottom left. And let's see, is he gonna build a wall?
Oh my god.
Yes, he's gonna build a wall. Although, I think that's the correct wall. I don't know if you put it in I don't know if you put in that little notch above that. But I do know it's depot, barracks, depot. Yeah, this could be fine. I don't know. We'll see.
We'll have to see. It looks good. I'm just glad that I play Zerg, so I don't have to memorize any of that crap. I'm actually a terrible Zerg waller.
Zerg waller?
Yeah, like on, like ZVP. SimCity, Zerg SimCity. Not a real wall, just a SimCity.
Oh, okay.
But it's still, it's bad. I don't know like any of my SimCities.
There was one SimCity where like it was like hatchery hydralisk den I was doing on destination at the natural.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think Assault told me this. He's like, if you put a evolution chamber there instead of a hydralisk den, the right side is Dark Templar proof. And I was like, what? They're the same size. But
Yeah.
no, actually, this was the bottom spawn of Destination. And so I tried it out. I did mind control in single player mode, and then I was like, oh my god, Hydra's Den doesn't block it, but Evolution Chamber does. That's so weird.
Yeah, it's pretty insane. Like the walling is so weird because it's like pixel measurements. And there's like diagrams. I know Rhoda has all of like the Protoss ones with like little areas, and it shows exactly what's Link type, what's Marine type, what's Zealot type, and all that stuff. But I can't be bothered to learn any of that.
Curiosity actually did some maps, and he made a thread about that on TeamLiquid.net. For those who don't know about that, it's a very good forum. It's very elitist. Baal's is.
Yeah.
You can't just go on there and
It's
start
true.
spamming.
It's true.
You can't just go on there and start spamming memes. You'll get banned. Baal's gonna go ahead and go Dark Templar.
Is that not what you did? I feel like that's kind of what you started doing, albeit.
Did I?
Yeah, with the memes. I think that's mostly what you do on there.
I'm talking about, like, you can't just post, like, a picture of, like, I don't know, Bowsette or something, and just be like, this is what Ultralists are like to me.
Bowsette general thread. Where did Nyokin go? Jayun, Nyokin had to go to sleep because he's going to be casting another tournament tomorrow on Urbmine stream. So check that out, man. It's going to be the BWL tournament, which is him and Kingdom's clan, I believe.
So yeah, Nyokin's going to be doing that instead of Urbmine casting with me. ...
Oh, man.
Always a bridesmaid, never a bride. Oh well. Interestingly enough, Napoleon's going 2-fac, so when you go 2-fac, normally you get a Vulture Speed and Vulture Mines first.
Yeah, so that's a pretty great way to deter Dark Templar from running up in your base. Dark Templar usually take two mines to the face before they die, right?
Yes.
Unless, of course, they slash one.
Okay, so here's where it's gonna get crazy. If Napoleon only puts down mines at his opponent's natural, then...
Oh my gosh, here come the DTs!
Oh my god.
Is he gonna notice?
What are you doing?
No!
Okay, one's going into Terran base. Okay, Terran knows about the GT now because it slashed one of the vultures. Okay, so he knows about the GTs.
He closes his own wall though, and so his army's gonna be stuck out there with a DT. Oh man, DT already getting hits on SCVs. 2 SCVs go down so far. The wall's back up now.
Okay, so... yeah, he's just trying to... I don't know what he's...
Oh man, this is so scary because he's got the SCVs going around now, so if he uses mines to try to deal with them, the mine could be dragged onto a bunch of SCVs and deal more damage than the DT would have. Alright, this first DT is gonna go down. Oh, but he gets...
oh my god.
He gets the mine! He gets the second mine and 2 vultures with 1 shot, and the CC is at 0.5% now. And there's no vultures on the maps with mines. There's 1 at the natural, but I think he's almost dead. Oh my gosh. Lift the CC!
He's repairing it.
It's not gonna work.
I know.
DTs do way too much damage. They do either a bajillion or infinity damage. Kappa Kappa. Oh my god, is the mine gonna blow the CC up? Replay just ends and that's the end. Oh man, no GG, just game over.
Well, hold on. He may have actually said GG. Sometimes the end of the
that's
replay
true.
gets cut off.
The very end. So sometimes you're right. Sometimes when you don't see a GG, they're It wasn't because there wasn't one. It's just that it was so close to the end of the replay that it got cut off. But if there was gonna be a game that didn't have a GG, I know for me, I would probably not GG if I blew my own CC up with a mine. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Oh man.
Oh, that's an interesting question. Do mines, do their splash damage affect buildings?
I don't know.
I don't think they do,
Huh.
but that's either somebody who knows.
They
Okay,
don't.
so
Ah, it wasn't the mine. All right, it was the
Connor,
DT.
Connor 5620 says no. I thought it was the GT, but then I had to think about that. I was like, I don't think they do damage, but usually I don't see mines hit Terran buildings because that just doesn't happen.
Yeah. Wow, that's pretty crazy. Alrighty, so that's gonna put us on game number 3 now. Like instantly. Yeah. Thanks, Teddy. I appreciate it. That's all I'll ever be. I'll never have the game knowledge. Forever, Chobo.
Game knowledge is dumb.
I know. Why would I ever want to have game knowledge when I can just, you know, lurker bust people and slow lurker drop them every game? Just be the
When you
most
cast-
notoriously cheesy person.
When you cast, it's all about just screaming about how the storms are blowing everything up.
Stormy! Yep. I've got it down.
And remember, every Psy storm is a great storm, and it's done a ton of damage.
Yeah. I'm just
Every single
naturally
one.
exuberant though. Like I can't even help
Huge
myself from
storms.
screaming. Huge storms. I feel like it could
No,
be a
I-
Korean caster. I think it'd be much more well received over there.
I think, yeah. Do you know Artosis follows you now on Twitch?
Does he?
Yeah, just, like, when he hosted you, I saw a bunch of people following, and, like, one of them was Artosis.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
So, you know, maybe... I mean, he knows Nyokin. Him and Nyokin are friends, so... One day, Nick Plot just trips over a pancake and loses his voice.
Trips over a pancake. He just throw it on a table. Nyokin drops dead. Stress from being DT dropped. Oh,
No,
the dream.
no, okay, so Tasteless gets, he's unable to do the legendary screams that he does. Artosis like, who's gonna yell during, and Nyokin says, I know somebody.
DocHoliday is a very loud person. Too loud, in fact. Perfect.
That's right.
Oh man. All right. Well, guys, what a riveting story. Let's get into game number 3 real quick here. It's gonna be on Circuit Breaker, my personal favorite map. And yeah, let's see how this exciting conclusion of this trilogy of games goes. That was a pretty sick DT strategy here. But in the top left-hand corner, spawning as the green Terran, we have DST Napoleon.
And interesting map choice by him. Considering that maps like Polaris Rhapsody are in the map pool, and is Heartbreak Ridge in the map pool? I haven't seen anyone play it.
No, it's on ladder now though. Or at least I don't think it is.
Heartbreak Ridge is on ladder. I vetoed it.
That's what I'm saying.
So-
It is on ladder. I don't know if it's in the map pool for CPL though, because this was
Okay.
we're casting week 3, which was like last week I believe is when I played the games, and it got added to the ladder
Yeah.
pool like this week, right? So
Yes, they changed the map pool recently and reset the ladder for the first time. Well, spawning in the top right is the yellow Protoss is Ash Baal. I actually did not play my games this week because I had a lot going on, and so I don't even know what's going on now.
Yeah, so we've been assigned teams already.
Yes.
So I think I think there's another week because I think I saw that in the caster schedule that there's going to be another week. I think we're just working our way through, but I'm not sure. Was this the last week of games?
I don't know, because we did, like, group stages, and then I figured because there's a group stage, there would be, like, a bracket, and, like, the top qualifying people would go through the bracket, but I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, there's no
I'd-
money or
I'd
any
have-
prizes on the line or anything like that, so I don't think anyone was too involved as far as the results
think
of the
that-
games. So
I think there should have just been a bracket just for fun.
yeah, just to see where everyone is and stuff like that.
Just for fun, yeah.
Yeah, I know what you mean. But I'm more excited about the teams. What team did you get on, Nina?
I am on Team Beast.
Ah, Team Beast is really powerful last season. So who's your coaches?
I have Beast, and I have my good friend Cadency.
Oh, I'm really upset because Cadenzi didn't draft me after she said she was gonna. I think she secretly hates me.
I think... No, she doesn't. I think Beast actually did the drafting, but I'm not sure.
Oh, Beast definitely hates me. So we're talking about Jehu and Beast, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
and
he definitely
actually,
hates me.
I think... Yeah, he was actually talking about you during a coaching session. He's like, there's this guy named DocHoliday who did like 6 pool and stuff. And I was like, TP, but I didn't say nothing.
Yeah, most people in the CPL still think that I'm like this like incredibly cheesy, super aggressive player. And I realize like 90% of my games are macro games.
Well, actually, somehow I got that reputation for a while as well.
It's a great reputation to have, man, because when you bust out the 3 hatch before pool, no one expects it. Alrighty, but we do have...
SCV gets in the bars! Yeah, so SCV does get in the base, so now the player knows that, he knows.
Yeah, well, he knows that it's a single gate. And this is pretty fortunate, right? Because this is going to be that FD push with the tank and a bunch of Marines, because we do just have constant Marine production here. So this can be a pretty difficult build to hold.
So, what he saw was that there's only one gateway, and there's no nexus going up. So, that timing that he reached there was like, was around the time the nexus goes down, because you put down a nexus at 28, but if the nexus is not going up, that means it's probably Reaver.
Tech build.
Or some kind of tech. I mean, last game we saw,
DT.
yeah, we just saw straight up DT, but that was a little bit different.
Wow. The kiting here has been pretty fantastic, though. Almost all the Marines are already gone before this tank gets very far out on the map at all. This is actually pretty scary now that we're looking at this.
Let's see what we got here. So, I don't see shuttle.
Yeah, shuttle isn't being produced yet. Just an observatory going up also. So,
okay, that's fine.
looks like we're going for an expand.
Yeah, that's weird.
Perhaps because it got scouted, he might be changing plans here. We got a second factory going down for Napoleon.
Well, he put down the robotics after the probe died. So basically, he's going like double gate, then observer, then expanding, which really delays the nexus. So I don't know. His economy is going to be behind where the Terrans is at, or where it should be at this point in the game. So the equivalent economy isn't going to be there.
This
So
fast
either
observer,
he,
though, don't you think is going to...
eh,
I mean, he could definitely... I mean, there's not much for Terran right now, at all. And he did a fantastic job not losing any Dragoons, stopping the Marine tank push with the Vultures following up as reinforcements. So all we really have on the map right now are a couple of Vultures, some mines, and like one tank. I mean, this is a lot of Dragoons for that, you know, to get stopped by such a small amount of Terran units.
it is. Oh, we got more gateways coming up. So, and 5 gateways on 2 base probably is indicative of some kind of 2 base arbiter shenanigans. Which is okay on this map because usually you gotta keep the Terran in their base so you can expand.
Alrighty, now if anyone's wondering where this Dragoon is going, he's just kind of running around the map here trying to clear out mines so to limit Terran's vision and potentially open up some attack paths for later on in the game so far. Ob's getting now
But he
into
got
the main
murked.
base here. Yeah, he got super murked by these Vultures here. This gang of space bikers.
And with 3 tanks, I don't know if he's gonna push through without a shuttle. But luckily he has the robotics. Doesn't have a shuttle yet.
Alrighty, well it looks like
Getting
you
a-
called the Arbiter play because we do have the Citadel coming down in the main now.
Well,
It could just be for the space.
yeah, it's sort of a wonk. Yeah, it could be. Because he's not, you can see that if you look at his natural, he's not getting the gas, so he might be going for some 5-gate speed zealot thing, which I've seen people do before. Just not recently. Sort of an old school build, most people don't know about it.
Napoleon, though, is doing a very good job
Kinda-
staying active with his Dragoons and constantly cleaning up these mines. Really not very
kinda
many
easy.
mines on the field right now.
Yeah, so he's done some scouting around. He's looked around the map. If the Protoss had taken like the 6 o'clock base, that would have been really weird, but he's pretty sure that the Terran is pretty sure that Protoss is on 2 bases, so he's going up to 4 fact before taking his command center. So as you can see, for the 2 factories are extra being added on. Now he's putting in the command center. And so far everything looks pretty good for him. I think that he's still a little bit vulnerable to getting his front busted if the Protoss does do some type of all-in-ish kind of play.
Yeah, especially over here at the Natural where there's literally just 2 mines. Just that's it.
That's it. But even the tank line, it's guarded by 1 turret, and so if the zealots drop at like the bottom of the tank line, then
The tanks will just be shooting at the other tanks the entire time.
yeah, and then and plus if the Dragoons get up on the high ground, the tanks will have that disadvantage of having to have that like 50%-ish miss rate.
Yeah, and Baal has
And-
vision of all of this too. Great observer placement is going to allow him to really choose where exactly how he wants his engage to go. And there we go, just like you said, Zealot bombs getting all over these tanks here. Oh, but man, a bunch of Dragoons not engaging up here, getting distracted by this engineering bay. This didn't go so well.
At that, yeah, that melted completely. That had a lot to do with tanks being overpowered.
I thought you were gonna give me this great analytical response, but no, that had a lot to do with things being
there was-
overpowered.
To break that, you need a lot of zealots, and there wasn't a lot of zealots. There was the zealots in the shuttle, and that was it.
Yeah,
'Cause if you go back and looked at that battle, you'd be like, okay, there's not that many mines, So if the zealots, a few more zealots just got on top of the tanks, then he could potentially busted that. But because it was just dragoons doing it, it got kind of messed up.
Oh no.
And now, that's not good.
Yeah, the army in the middle just being a little bit distracted, and so just continuing to take a bunch of hits on these dragoons for free. This is really not what you want to be happening right now. Dragoons are such precious units for the Protoss army. And honestly, like, the amount of production that's coming out of Baal right now isn't all that impressive. His army count isn't really growing all that quickly. He doesn't have any kind of real serious tech that he might be able to use right now to get himself back in this game. Templar Archive's only now getting started, which means that Arbiters are still miles away. I'm not really sure what he's going to be able to stop this tank push with. Unless it gets too close to this high ground, though.
Well, Baal does have the option to still shuttle bomb. He does have speed zealots, so... And he does have the high ground.
Oh my gosh!
He might be losing it. Oh my god!
He just keeps donating units to these tanks.
Yeah, you can't... If you end up behind, you can't donate. You have to be on top of your control really, really good. And so far in this game, it just looks like he's having a difficult time doing that.
Yeah, and being
in the first game, it looked like he had some pretty good command over his units, but in this game, I think it's the rallies, actually. The rally points might actually be outside of the bridges. I'm not sure. Actually, his rallies are messed up. Look at his ramp.
Yeah, they're all getting stuck all over the place. Very interesting. Oh my gosh, and this engineering bay just pulling more units into tank fire. Like, this is... Oh my gosh, this is so painful.
Alright,
this slow tank push is starting to drag just more and more units into this, and you just have tiny pieces of the Protoss army just slowly funneling into this because they keep getting aggroed by the Terran units. Like, oh my gosh, look at this engagement. Oh my gosh, gigantic mine hits down on the south part of the engagement. At the top, units are just being devoured by the tank line.
Yeah, again, that looks kind of like a panic engagement, where it's like, oh no, the Terran's taking the high ground, I have to go now. So, I think he may have just straight up lost.
Yeah.
I mean, he probably can pick off some tanks if he drops units on him, but that's about it. I think at this point, Napoleon would have to, like, die at his computer in order for Baal to win the game.
Well, we're still chugging forward here. Vultures and tanks now moving up from the short attack path from the third to the third of the Protoss. It's always pretty much a foregone conclusion once you're behind bases. Yeah, that was pretty sick. I would be way more excited if this game was like really even right now, but at this point, like for me, it's just like, oh man, you're so far behind. Like I can expect to see just tons of crazy, terrible losses, engagements here, going forward.
That was like somebody kicking a baby in the face, and then me just going, "Did you see him kick that baby in the face?"
It's like, yeah, I did.
That was awesome. Nah, there's no reason to dump a Dark Templar into an army. That's sort of a waste. Don't do that.
Yeah, you know, I've noticed that players who do that only get like a tank for it, generally speaking, right? It's like dropping a zealot is pretty much the same amount of efficiency out of that unit, but it costs way less.
Yeah, it's not like the only reason it would ever do anything significant is because the Terran just doesn't have any mines or doesn't scan. But then again, if the Terran has mines, a zealot is just gonna cost you so much less. You don't have to waste the gas.
Yeah, you'll still drag the mine, you'll still get the tank kill, but you know.
Yeah, it's not often I don't like to do CPL casts and like tell players what they should and shouldn't do, but that's kind of it's a little bit wasteful, and I think that whenever you can cut out little bits of waste here and there, you're gonna be better for it.
Oh man, Baal now seriously surrounded by tanks all over the place, even
Also-
more mines.
Also, there isn't much to talk about. Yeah. I know you wouldn't even bring that up, but there's nothing
Yeah,
you can do.
it's kind of just a slow bleed here. Baal with like just small groups of units like out here just kind of getting slowly murdered individually. Like this Arbiter
like-
is just... Oh my god, I thought it was gonna
like-
go down.
Yeah, well, almost. What? That was miraculous that that tank lived.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. I
Arbiter-
guess one mine blew up the rest of the mines.
And Arbiter was like, "You will die."
And then gets assassinated by a lonely Goliath. Yeah, but this
Goliath's
is...
like, "I will avenge my friend." This is like watching a parent die in the hospital.
My god. Come on, Nina. Why? Why you gotta be like this?
It's so sad.
It is.
So sad.
It is sad. I feel bad for Baal. I mean, he did. I feel like he's been outclassed by his opponent a little bit here. I don't think he played badly at all. But sometimes you just have a little bit of a mismatch when it comes to MMR. Some of our players are...
He did good in the first game.
Yeah.
He definitely did good in the second game because he won. And so I wouldn't feel bad about this at all. I would just say, hey, there you go, GG, well played. So I wouldn't feel bad about the
About his performance.
Yeah, the game 3 didn't go so well for him, but you know what? I would say he played a pretty good series, and he has nothing to feel bad about.
Not at all. I mean, he is a T1er after all, so feels good, man.
Napoleon also played a good series, so I think both those guys should be pretty happy with that. I think the only thing I was kind of getting at was like, once you get contained as Protoss by Terran, that's like the death grip around the back of your neck. You're almost never gonna get out of that unless it's like 2 facts and you can like ferry units out of your base with your shuttle, but that's neither here nor there.
Yeah, and a lot of times you're gonna get out of that, if you get out of that, and find that your Terran player has 2 bases up on you and a giant army at home. So it's kind of like it can be very difficult because Protoss is basically meant to have map control the entire game until Terran is like maxed out and then moving across the map. So